After Yang Xinxin's leg healed, she was as happy as a flying butterfly. She ran all over the shelter for the first time and told everyone in the shelter the good news that her leg was healed. Even Fatty Sue, who was the most disliked by her on weekdays, was not left out. After everyone knew that Yang Xinxin's leg was healed, they all happily congratulated her. Especially after learning that Zhou Kuo and Lu Kuran had awakened their superpowers, they were even more impressed that there were more talents in the shelter. Only Zhou Haimei was still an ordinary person. But she was very sensible, knew her position, and had no complaints in her heart. She was a smart woman and she didn't crave superpowers like a young girl. Being a housewife, you don't need to go out and fight, and you can enjoy a comfortable life at home. Isn't that good? Zhang Yi needed her to be a spiritual therapist to comfort the lonely heart of Uncle Yu, an old man. She also fulfilled her duty very well. And, because of her presence, the atmosphere in the entire shelter has become better. This is the ability of mature and intellectual women to liven up the atmosphere. On the other hand, Zhang Yi was very happy to see that Yang Xinxin's legs were healed. He couldn't help but sigh in his heart that superpowers are indeed very convenient and can do things that humans could not do in the past. Is this an evolution of a species? Although it caused the death of most people on the planet, the remaining people, as the fire, will become a stronger and more excellent population. I think I seem to have grasped the law of evolution. Zhang Yi leaned against the door, looking at Yang Xinxin running around on the first floor, and said lightly. Zhou Kuo and Lu Kuran were lying on the railing on the second floor. When they heard Zhang Yi say this, they couldn't help but cast a curious look. Zhang Yi said, "In the past, I always felt that everyone's superpowers were related to their personal temperament. Now that I see the changes in you two, I finally confirm this." Zhang Yi raised his eyes and looked at Zhou Kuo and Lu Kuran. He said, "Kuo is a doctor, so your awakened ability is healing. Kuran is a mechanic, and your awakened ability is related to machinery. Then can I understand that the awakening of this ability is closely related to your own abilities? Or is it the power you want to get in your heart? Even the stronger this desire is, the stronger the superpower you get." The two couldn't help but ponder after hearing what Zhang Yi said. Zhou Kuo said, "It seems that it is indeed the case. Uncle Yu's awakening was caused by the shooting, so he wanted to get a tougher physique, so his superpower is to strengthen his physique." Su Chunlei's superpower awakened when he was on the verge of freezing to death, and he hoped that he could withstand the severe cold. As a martial arts fanatic, Teacher Liang hopes to get faster speed and stronger power. Now that I think about it carefully, everyone's changes are indeed related to their desires. Hearing this, Lu Kuoran couldn't help but look at Zhang Yi. "So, brother, you awaken the space ability. Why is that? Is it because you're a warehouse manager?" Zhang Yi's eyes narrowed slightly. What does he want most? It is the extremely strong resentment after death that makes him reborn. Because he has suffered too much from the shortage of materials in the end of the world, he awakened the space ability to stock up? So, is his rebirth also a kind of ability? Zhang Yi subconsciously raised his hand and rubbed his left eye. This is indeed a very interesting idea. We must understand our own abilities better and try our best to develop them. Only in this way can we survive better in the end of the world. Zhang Yi put down his left hand, smiled and waved to Lu Kuran, saying, "Kuran, come here. There is just a chance to verify the strength of your ability." Lu Kuran ran to Zhang Yi and looked at Zhang Yi expectantly. She also hopes to do more for Zhang Yi. Zhang Yi opened the different space, reached out and slowly took out a black bullet from it and handed it to Lu Kuran. "With your ability now, can you replicate the origin bullet?" The origin bullet is a product of the Jiangnan Regional Headquarters. Even in the Jiangnan Regional Headquarters, it is a controlled-level ammunition, and only special arms such as members of the investigation team are qualified to use it. Its production process is extremely complicated, and the materials are also very rare. Ordinary arsenals cannot produce it. It is said that this was specially built by the special department of the Jiangnan region to deal with aliens, and the quantity is limited. When dealing with Yuan Kongya, Zhang Yi got Bian Junwa's pistol. Although he returned the gun later, he secretly hid an origin bullet. Because this bullet has the effect of restraining superpowers. Even Yuan Kongya, who is as strong as Ypsilon, her telekinetic shield will be pierced by the origin bullet. Zhang Yi has long been eyeing this special ammunition. It's a pity that Bailey Chongqing and others would not be kind enough to share some with Zhang Yi. At this time, Lu Karen awakened her superpowers. With her mechanical technology and the ability to control the divine machine, Zhang Yi wanted her to, let's see if we can replicate the origin bullet. If we succeed, the combat effectiveness of their entire team will be improved by several levels. Even people without superpowers can threaten superhumans with origin bullets. Not to mention that Zhang Yi is a top sniper, and this thing will benefit him the most. Lu Kuran reached out to take the origin bullet. The moment her fingers touched it, her brain quickly analyzed its material ratio. After a moment, she frowned slightly and said to Zhang Yi, "This bullet is very special. 12 kinds of rare metals are used in it. The cost of a bullet alone is probably not less than 100,000 yuan. Rare metals? That's no wonder," Zhang Yi said. "How about it? Can you replicate it?" Lu Kuran's mouth curled up slightly. That was a proud smile. In the past, it was impossible to do it with our production environment. But now, absolutely no problem. It's just that the materials are more difficult. After all, rare metals are not easy to find. I'm afraid I have to go to several major laboratories in Tianhai City or university research centers to find them. Zhang Yi smiled happily. As long as it can be made, it's fine. Materials are not a problem at all. Give me a list of what materials are needed, and I will ask Xing Tian and Xiao Honglian to find them for me. Rare metals have many uses, and they would not suspect that Zhang Yi wanted to use them to make the origin bomb. Then again, even if they knew, what would happen? Even the Jiangnan region could not be so overbearing as to not allow others to produce the origin bomb themselves, right? At least the current Jiangnan region does not have this level of control. Okay, I'll send it to you right away. Lu Karen immediately took out a satellite phone and listed the special materials needed for the origin bomb. Zhang Yi added many other rare substances to it, made a list, and sent it to the three forces. Ask them to help collect, the more the better. Tianhai City used to have a prosperous economy, and there were many scientific laboratories and top universities. Therefore, collecting enough rare metals is not a problem. After the three received Zhang Yi's news, they could not analyze anything based on this list. They were very happy that Zhang Yi finally asked them to do something. Because only when Zhang Yi asked them to do something, it was a manifestation of treating them as his own people. It is no problem for the three companies to collect these materials separately.